Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Welcome back to the Super Bowl edition of Wise Kracks. Bill Krackomberger, we've got a Super Bowl edition. It's coming 2 weeks away.
As I'm cursing out Tom Brady.
You were just now. Before we started rolling, you watched
Everyone's so sad they watch. Oh, Tom. Oh, what a nice speech you made. So nice. Yeah, so nice. You cost me money, to be honest with you. I just showed John my bets. I had unbelievable bets. 1,000 to win 35,000 on the Bucks to win the Super Bowl. 1,000 to win 13,000. Bucks win to win the NFC.
And you don't make those bets.
No, but I knew I had. I'm in. What I do is I gain information before a lot of the public does, and that's one of the things I knew about. And
meaning.
Yeah, that bet
was made before he came back.
As soon as he announced he was back, the next day that went to 8-1 instead of 35-1.
Crazy value.
Automatically the day before, when the info was really out there amongst the powers that be, I bet it, and now throughout the year they thought the Bucks were going to be a better team than they were. They were terrible for most of the public.
Right.
So my buddy who's a real football fan said, "Oh, look at this thing. Thank you. I love my family. I love my team.
Yeah.
I love things."
You can't even say what you wrote back.
I don't want to say what I wrote back.
I'm reading what you wrote back.
Should have retired last year. It cost me money. You don't put food in my pocket.
Rhymes with luck.
You don't put
is what
money
you
in
wrote
my
back.
pocket. I mean, food on my table. Yeah.
No?
No, I mean, I'm being serious, though. It's the old Bronx Tale thing.
Right.
He's
not paying your bills.
He's not
Mickey
paying
Mantle's not paying your mortgage.
He's not paying your mortgage. Why do you care about him? I don't care about you.
Yeah.
I don't care about Brady.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, let me ask you this.
Fire up.
If and when you get the info on where Aaron Rodgers is going to end up, will you tell me?
Sure. Yeah. But he may be, he may have too many candles on the cake too.
Yeah, he might.
Who knows?
But let me ask you this. Just as far as a betting standpoint goes and advising the Kracks wins folks.
Yeah.
You don't regret. I mean, I know you regret making the bet because it didn't win, but that was a great bet.
Listen.
The value is insane.
I sent out stuff to crack wins guys like Benchero at 12-1, and it stood there for an hour.
Right.
Went down to literally pick them. The next day went back up to 10-1 again because of Woj.
Ohtani also.
Yeah, Ohtani 33-1.
That's easy after the fact.
Yeah.
After you see the season he put up, it's easy to go, of course, Ohtani.
So
that's beating Trout, Judge. I mean, you want the list of guys.
We're going to have losing ones. We're going to have losing futures.
Course.
But to give out a 30-1 shot and a 12-1
that's
shot.
a year maker.
I have no regrets.
No, that's a year maker.
But listen, do I want to win every bet? Sure. Everyone does. That's why we bet. We don't bet just to be social, do we? Are you guys betting to be social? If you're betting to be social, then
answer the man.
You probably shouldn't even be watching a Wise Crack segment.
Right.
We're here to educate you and show you some little nuggets and tidbits to get the money from the man. Anyway,
all right.
Going off on tangents. Brady thing we're supposed to bring up later.
After the body of work Brady has done, you have your final words
Greatest
on Brady?
Quarterback of all time.
Okay.
Unbelievable guy. Played unbelievable. If you're a fan of the game, he's unbelievable. Will he do anything for you financially in your pocket if you need a loan? No.
Right.
Greatest quarterback of all time.
Do you give any chance that he still comes back even after posting that video?
I hope not. I say no. No. That would be a personal embarrassment to do that.
It would, but Brett Favre did it. Remember, Brett Favre went from Packers to Jets, and then someone else, didn't he? Vikings. He was all over.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
He was doing pills or something.
Yeah, I feel like Favre retired 4 or 5 times. Robert's chiming in. He says Favre also stole. Well, that's not proven yet, but it looks bad. Have you seen that? I mean, it's pretty much proved with text messages.
Oh, no,
Have you followed all that?
Yeah.
It's bad. There's some really incriminating text messages. It's weird. You wouldn't think guys at that level, they got the money. Like, why are you doing that? How do you get caught up? I don't know how you get caught up.
Look at these guys that were all with that Bankman Free guy, whatever his name was, the crypto guy.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Wonderful, they put him on the spot. They told
did.
Him, you got all this money from him and this and that. I mean, I have to give that guy credit. What's his name? What's his real name? Mr. Wonderful. I got to give him
O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary. I got to give him a lot of credit, though. He actually went right on, I don't know, CNN or one. I think he was on one of those shows, He went right on, or no, it wasn't. It was a Money Channel, MSNBC or something. And he did. He stood there and actually said I was wrong
with FTX.
Yeah. He went on there.
Yep.
Well, a lot of these guys took their money.
Robert.
What about all the people that what about all these politicians that he put the money in their accounts? He made them millions of dollars. I think 19 gave it back out of like 150. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Get me started. Here we got an aggravated gambler segment going.
Right? I love it.
I'm
okay,
ready to throw something at Travis.
Let's talk about last week. The Eagles just romped the 49ers. With all due respect to the 49ers, they did lose Brock early in the game.
The Eagles played good, though.
Yeah,
they would have won that game.
Yeah, I agree.
But, Brock went down. The Eagles just gave up. I mean, the 49ers gave up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the end of the third quarter, they ran the ball 3 times. Like, I'm sorry, all 4 times.
All 4 times.
They went on 4th down even.
Yeah.
Ran the ball 4 times and gave up the ball. Like, they just gave up.
Yeah.
They were deer in headlights after that. So that first touchdown was bad too on the Eagles. That first touchdown, the guy didn't even catch the ball.
Yeah.
It was bad. So it started out bad for San Fran, and really they didn't look back. The Eagles, and listen, they're good. They're a good team.
Yeah.
But I always seem to they never have the heart to finish. Though they did a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. Well, that was a decade ago.
Yeah.
It just seems like they never have the heart to finish anything. Any of their teams, from the basketball to the football. Now that being said, Circa opened up. By the way, I'll tell you exactly how it worked. William Hill, I seen, and William Hill and DraftKings opened up Pick'em.
Yep.
And Circa said, no. KC minus 2.5. Shocked me and everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
You tweeted about it.
I thought it wasn't real.
Really?
I thought it wasn't real. I said, that can't be a real line. It's Pick'em. They could have put up a 1.5
Right.
or a 1.
Right.
And they still would have got action. They put up 2.5. They took a big bet at 2.5. I went to go bet it plus the 2.5. Missed it by a hair. 1.5. I'll take it. So I took the 1.5. I tweeted out the pick plus 1.5. It's a great bet.
It is
bet.
because you lose by 1.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Still a great bet.
Yeah.
But am I hedging it or something? No. Instead, I actually farmed it out. What that means is I asked a buddy of mine, you want a dime? Take a dime. Here's a really good line for you. Another guy, hey, you want a dime? I gave 2 guys a dime each just because they like the Eagles in the game. I knew they were going to like them. I took 3 dimes, and I have it's basically the size of less than a prop bet I'll have on Super Bowl. So, I do have a good bet, but I'm not as confident in it. Even now that I have 3 points the best of it, the line now is a real vanilla Eagles minus 1.5.
Yeah.
And, so.
There was a big story out of Canada. I don't know if you caught wind of it because you probably don't keep up with Canadian news, but a flood warning was actually called in Canada as a result of producer Rob's tears from the 49ers losing.
Yeah. He had 20 to 1.
I wanted to get that in. I thought it was a clever little. I liked
funny.
it. He wrote that in. I liked it.
You could be a writer for a comedy team. SCTV2 up there in Canada.
Right?
Yeah. He's probably not old enough to know what that is.
The Bengals and the Chiefs was actually a good game.
Bengals and the Chiefs were a good game.
It was a good game.
Everyone crying that they were fixed if they bet the Bengals.
Yeah.
Fix is just like, I said on this show, it's the biggest 3-letter word in media, in sports betting media. Everyone always at the sports book, you can always say NFL's rigged, it's fixed. You go to a sports book, they're always going to think, because they only look at the side of the game from their side of the game.
Right.
They only look at it. People that bet on KC in that game, they didn't see any of that. They said, what are you talking about?
Right.
We should have won the game.
Right.
But the Bengals guy said, no, what are you talking? We should have won the game.
Right.
And they point out the factors why they shouldn't. Now,
and
that being said, there was a lot of bad officiating.
There was some terrible calls.
This year's terrible. We're supposed to be so advanced. These guys are terrible.
And you know what? I'm seeing it in all sports. It's not just it's NFL, it's baseball. I don't really follow basketball enough to know if it's in basketball. Absolutely, the refs in UFC.
So that
and the
boxing has been the big thing over the years. Now you're telling me it's that bad in the UFC.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's trending on Twitter. NFL rig. So
yeah.
Robert also said the Eagles were 25 to 1 to win all preseason. I don't remember him being that big, Robert. You must have a square bookmaker up there. Introduce me to him.
No, what do you think?
I don't know if it was 25 to 1.
Chiefs were 10 to 1. I feel like that was right.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Now, even with that said, I know you made the Brady future pick because you had the inside info, but you don't like the strategy for bettors. Like, I feel like if you were to pick 3 teams that are like 10 to 1 and higher, is that not a good strategy?
No,
because you just don't like tying up.
No, nothing to do with tying up. They should be longer odds than that. The beginning of the year, the Buffalo was like 6 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Give me a break. How do you feel now with those tickets?
Right.
Even KC was like, 7-1. I mean, it's just that's not the right number. There's a lot of juice involved in that number.
So that's your issue with it is you're not getting even though like the Eagles, let's say he's right and they were 25-1.
Yeah.
You're saying that still it's the
if you
real
shopped
number
around and the number was
40-1.
if you shopped around and seen DraftKings 13-1, FanDuel 15-1, PointsBet 18-1, and then found a 25-1 with a Canadian sports book, or because there is certain sports books that are up there. Yeah, that's some value. What you're doing is you're market handicapping. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to know a player on a team. You don't have to know the color of the uniform. You just know the odds here are this, the odds here are that, the odds here are that. You're market handicapping. It used to be a real sharp thing to do. You can go by, like Pinnacle Sports, you can go by their line compared to the slower moving books like Stations and William Hill. You can go by that, or Boyd, which is Coast Properties. And guess what? You were a winner because you're going by what the sharpest sports book is. Their line is 1,
right.
And now the line's still 2.5 at your other sports books. I'm using like a college basketball game. I'll let you use a college basketball game. Line's 1 at the sharp book, line's 2 at the other books. Guarantee you get the money at the end of the year betting that too. Or, the end of your life anyway. You need multiple samples of that.
So then let me ask you this as far as baseball goes.
Yeah.
So I really think, based on the offseason trades, I think the teams to watch, the Padres are loaded up, the Phillies are loaded up, assuming Bryce comes back okay.
Yeah.
The Mets certainly have a squad. And I think the Rangers could shock people, but they might be a year or two off.
I have no problem with you betting them.
Okay.
But searching out the lines. Because you'll go from book to book to book, and you'll say, holy crap, how can this possibly be that this team is 12-1 here, but it's 25-1 here?
Right.
You'll see that, and I'll bet that.
Okay.
Because now I'm not taking the double digit into account. Now, when I mean double digit, that kind of a pool has a double digit hold. 25, 30% hold compared to a straight bet of 4.5%. So what that does is when you're shopping the different books, you're bringing down that household to single digits. I have no problem with you doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if you think you have some inside
And then
stuff.
how many is too many teams?
I wouldn't bet more than 2.
Okay.
Maybe, but
and would you do one from National League, one from American League, and hope you end up right with a matchup?
You would do the one you feel has the better chance out of your list because of certain situations. Like, maybe you feel this team is stacked this year, but maybe a team like the Padres, this is the second year in a row now. I heard already, by the way. Padres stacked this year. They're going to be great. They shouldn't be this long shot. So maybe you'd use that information or use beat reporters to find out why you should take that particular team. I wouldn't take so many of them. You get caught up with, you have 5 different things. If you go 0-5, that's a big loss.
For sure.
And you just tied up money that you're probably not going to have during the year to bet props or so, whatever it may be.
Okay.
So.
Well said, Bill Krackomberger. Well said. Okay, let's go on. A bettor was able to bet the Super Bowl exact result for both sides. So no matter what, he's going to win. So he's got the Chiefs to beat the Eagles, and he's also got the.
He's got 150-1 for that one, and the next one 160-1.
$130.
He's going to win something no matter what.
To pay $19K or $125 to pay $20K. That's a great spot to be in.
It's a great spot to be in, but these sports books only advertise these things and put these things out there because they want you to be chum. They're putting chum out in the water. For you, so they're throwing buckets of blood in the water and hoping the chum public eats the blood and comes in and joins the party.
And most likely, I don't want to speak for this guy, but he probably did 8 or 9 of these different matchups, or 4 or 5 of these matchups.
You could do what the guy did on the show with me, the Showtime show.
Right.
He bet 10 teams at whatever, a couple 100,000 each, and showed the winner. I got the winner.
Right.
Well, you had half the baseball leagues.
Right.
I got the winner.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like covering every number on red on the roulette wheel, and
it is. It's saying I won red. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what that is there. And let me just tell you, I talked about this last week on another network. Listen, come on. All these companies are putting this out there. These $5 to win $75,000. They make it look like, oh, you could do this too. And you said before the show, 5 times, a million people or something. They're making a lot of money off this. But we're a little tiny, small piece of the market that will tell you the truth on that stuff. Where most people are, backed up and controlled by sports books. So I'm not mentioning any books. They all do it. So
Yeah. What novelty bets are still being offered by the books? Is there anything that you like? Any of those little fun?
it's kind of
It does make it fun.
They'll offer a lot of things, though. They'll offer a lot
for
of
the
things.
casual fans.
You know,
right?
someone called me this morning about something. And John, don't mind me. I have the ADD real bad.
Yeah.
Were you with me the years that I had yellow?
Yes, of course.
Coldplay?
That was the first year I met you.
Okay. Were you with me with Christian Aguilera?
Yep.
Okay. And
With the length of the anthem.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how about okay, so that was the stadium. I wrote them down. Hold on. This
That was I met you at the Hard Rock with Ellenberger, with Jake.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Coldplay, yellow, touchdown. Oh, the team doctor on the Patriots. Let me just think. Oh, ooh, did I say team doctor? I didn't mean that. But no, I don't care. So how about the? Were you with me for a third player throwing a touchdown pass?
No.
A third player.
I don't think so.
And the Patriots played. Yeah. So
Like a trick play?
Well, just will a third person throw the ball besides the two starting quarterbacks?
Right.
Yeah, that was big. 2 years in a row.
What is something like that? What are the odds on something like that? Do you remember?
You take back around $1.50, $1.70. Take back. Will a third person throw a pass plus 170?
I feel like it should be higher.
They probably should be. It probably should be a little higher. This year it's actually much lower. This year it's the no is minus 170 and the yes is plus 140. By the way, I didn't bet that this year, but that a third person will. I actually think they probably won't. So
what about will there be a safety? Do you bet on that one?
You know what?
Remember that one? That 1 year?
Yeah, the wise guys bet. Will there be overtime? Will there be safety? No. They bet that. They lay the 8-1. They lay the money on that. It was a big moneymaker for decades, and then it wasn't.
Right.
The first play of the game was a safety.
Correct.
Giants game or something?
Broncos and Seattle, maybe.
First play
I was
of the
at
game
Cosmo,
was a safety.
and I was sitting across from Frank Thomas.
So think about it.
And he had bet it.
Now you have to get back 10 bets just to get even.
Right.
You know, I don't want to do that. You know, Frank Thomas, did he have it?
Yes. I don't know if it was him. I think it was his buddy.
Is he the Big Hurt?
Yeah, the Big Hurt.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, he lives here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, novelty bets, they'll have will Tiger Woods have more birdies than, sacks in the game or something like that? Whatever, something like that,
How did they come up with the line for that?
They just use the season, they go the whole season and see what they've done, what kind of form they're in, how they've been doing, and they match that up to a certain prop that they think, what will be 5 or 6, or 4 or 5, however Tiger's shooting.
And the guys that we know that I know through you that have been on the show that run the sports books, the different sports books.
Yeah.
Is that a brainstorming session for a lot of them to come up with? Is that
It
just
is.
during lunch? They just start throwing around some fun ideas?
Jay Kornegay, our guest of our show, many times, buddy of ours. Yesterday we text back and forth, JK. Here it is. Okay. By the way, I texted him last second to be on the show. Tomorrow is in Goodberry with calls and meetings. Please, rain check. Okay, we have a great weekend. Let me know what day the props are coming out so I can tell people. Sure, we're working on them now. We'll have them posted in the book 7 p.m. Thursday. So tomorrow night, by the time this is on air tomorrow, you guys will know. Tomorrow night they'll be lined up. The prop packers, the prop packets. The prop packets will be available tomorrow night. So.
Now, do the prop bets, does those lines move? Or do they stay relatively, are they as volatile as a regular game or as a regular line on the move?
They'll move more than a regular game.
They will?
Oh, yeah.
Based on what comes in. They have to, right?
Sure. So just this morning, I was trying to bet something. And, just this morning, I was trying to bet something. As you could see here, I was trying to bet under 5.5 on something. Doesn't matter what it is. I was trying to bet under 5.5.
Yep.
Rejected. So as you could see here, it went to 4.5.
Because you tried to bet it.
Well, no, it was actually something I read on Twitter. So it was multiple people probably trying to hit them at the same time. And by the way, 5.5 receptions to 4.5 is giant.
Yeah.
So that's a giant move in relation to something. So this morning, now I will tell you, now that I brought that up, is a great point. Oh God, but these new books being in these jurisdictions, it's bad. When DraftKings and FanDuels and William Hills and they all come into the States here. It's so bad for guys like me, believe it or not, because years ago, you'd have to wait for Jay Thursday to put up the lines for the lines to come out.
Right.
And I could start betting them a little bit. Then they start slowly coming out everywhere else because people would copy off them or say, oh, this is their prop packet.
Yep.
And, unfortunately, These other companies came in and they put them up already yesterday, Monday.
Right.
So Monday they put them up.
They beat them to the punch
for $500. When
Right.
I could bet 5,000 on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they put them up for a max of 500 or a dime to get the information, which is, by the way, it's still good. From 99% of the public, it's great.
Yeah.
But for guys like me and guys that are, and it's tougher now. It's tougher than it used to be because these lines will be more ironed out by the time that Jay puts them up for 2,000 or 3,000 a prop, and the big sports books start taking 2,000 and 3,000 a pop. So
if you tally up all the action you'll have on Super Bowl,
all in.
Yeah.
Every penny I can get my hands on.
Literally. Million?
Usually. I mean, now granted, I have partners and stuff, and if I add up all the money that we're all in, it's I'm not going to say the number, but it would be an all. It's usually all in, all the like green liquid that you can get if you're going around to these different sports books. But there's a lot of them you could just have someone else there's a lot of them that you don't have to actually do yourself, and you do shares with people and stuff.
Right.
So it's in other words, if I give you great information and you have a 3% edge, 5% edge on something, you'll be happy to put the money up and say, okay, Crack, I'll put a dime in. Here's 500 for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of that.
Right.
Because they don't have the information without me.
Correct.
So they don't have it without me.
Right.
So there's a lot of that too.
Wow. And your goal when you're all in on that is to make, are you trying to double the money? Are you trying to make a percentage of the money? Like, are you trying to make,
I'd love to hold 10%.
So if you just made 10% on your money with all the super,
I've never lost.
But that's something I think that's the,
you can't lose.
That is what's wrong with gamblers, right? Because most gamblers, my friends, we'd go, that's it?
What? 10%?
Right.
That's a good point.
Right? That's where everyone,
when people say
that's
6 and
where
4,
we screw this up.
People say 6 and 4. Oh, 6 and 4 you were?
Right.
I could do that. Can you do it consistently? Can you do it week in, week out at
and
the end
do
of the
that
year?
Over time at
6
scale,
and 4.
And then now you've got a living.
6 and 4 is going to make me $1 million a year, 7 figures a year. 6 and 4.
That's what people don't get, including me. Until I met you.
But people think that automatically. They think, oh, I can
even money.
Yeah, I could do 6 and 4. I don't need Crack for that. Crack.
You bet 10 grand over the weekend. You only won 1,000.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah.
The degenerates view it.
By the way, that's not even the number. That's way too high. It's much less than that. I'm talking about something that on Super Bowl is a bigger hold sometimes.
Sure.
I've held 3% on Super Bowls. I've held 2%. Like that's a big Super Bowl is 10%.
Right. And if the money's,
you only have a 2-3% edge over the time on anything you bet here. So if I bet $100,000 and I make $2,500, which is a real number, by the way, that's great for a guy like me. But for most people say, oh, I got to bet 100 to win 20. I could do that on my own for less money. No, you can't.
But what they don't realize is that's not one bet.
No.
That is a whole bunch of bets.
Sure.
And that's the difference, right?
Of course.
Right.
The more bets you have, the more variations of bets you have to get down is much better for someone like me or anybody really.
Right.
Because you don't have all your things riding on one thing. If you have all your things riding on one game or something, that's not good. That's not good because that means you have to have a giant bankroll.
Right.
So
10% off of something like Super Bowl would be...
That's a big Super Bowl.
That's you having a huge Super Bowl.
That's a big... I've had that, though.
Got it.
I've had that.
And then 2 or 3% would be like, okay, that's respectable. We did okay.
2 or 3%, I'm going to win a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to win more money. I'm going to have a 2%. I'll have a very, very good week that I've only had maybe 1 or 2 the whole season. 3% is probably going to be more towards the best week of the season.
I think that piece is the most crucial information that guys need to understand.
Yeah.
Is that you're just stop trying to get
everything's
this fantasy
not a lock
out.
either.
And that's why you get so mad when you see the $5 that got run up to $70,000 on a parlay, right? Or whatever.
Yes.
That's why you get so mad.
And everything I do is not lock information. I hate using that word.
Right.
But when I have a security guy.
Look at the smile.
When I have a security guy that tells me I've watched them 5 times sing and Yellow is the first song they sing.
Right.
That's almost as good as gold.
I didn't even know you. I had met you just then, and I said it with such confidence to people because I knew it was correct.
And then I had a fight with some people because he acapello'd.
Right,
Yellow.
right.
He came out, but that was typically that was the first song Coldplay sung.
Right.
You know, so I had an ESPN guy actually tell me, "Oh no, I've heard them. They don't. That's not the first song," and he kind of scared me a little bit because he was an ESPN guy.
Yeah.
And probably cost me a couple grand. I went back.
And then one time, wasn't there a discrepancy on the Gatorade color because through the jersey on TV it looked purple or whatever, and it wasn't.
When he poured it, it looked blue. It was clear.
Okay.
But when he poured it over the New York Giants player,
yeah,
it went down right through the. Even though he was trying to get the coach, he got the player more than anything. And I had to freeze frame it and close in on YouTube and show some of the bookmakers. No, it was clear Gatorade.
It was clear.
Oh God, what a pain! Last year, I'll tell you what. They had Gatorade in the stadium. I was wrong. I have an inside word. What color the Gatorade
really?
were. I don't know what they did with that Gatorade. Either both colors were on the Bengals side of the field, or it never got to the Rams side of the field. I was wrong, but I didn't make it a big bet anyway.
Yeah,
it was wrong. A lot of these places aren't putting that up anymore because of guys like me that were putting that stuff out on Crack.
So now they're also trying to fake everyone out.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if they're trying to fake everyone out, but
okay,
they're not putting it up widespread. Color of the Gatorade was everywhere. Now last year only FanDuel and DraftKings had it that I knew, and so maybe some of the offshore markets may have had it.
Okay, can you give us some betting tips in terms of like props and early overs and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I just gave you a ton of them.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The props early on the overs, I would bet if I'm going over Mahomes, I would go over now over his passing yards. Let me not use Mahomes because the public knows that he's not 100%. But if I was to go over on someone like a Kelsey or something, I would probably go over now. And by the way, I'm going to probably go under at game time. And that's a real bet I'm going to probably make.
Really?
Yeah. I went under this weekend a little bit on him. So I went under this weekend because I heard something. I didn't give it out to Crack Wins, guys. And by the way, perfect example. So I had Kelsey under 78.5 yards. That was a great number that I had. Why was it a great number? How many yards do you think he had? 78.
Did he?
Half a yard. So that was at one sports book that I found that. One sports book. Maybe someone else would have had 75.5 or 76.5. So at least I did have the right number on that. Okay, so early on the overs, late on the unders. Game time, I'll bet a lot of unders. And I'll shop that because the public only is betting overs. They love betting overs. Stay away from the side and total. Believe it or not, that should have been the number one thing. You don't have to have a bet on the side or the total. Just like I have a bet on the side because I had a plus 1.5. There's no reason why I have to. And by the way, everybody, and I'll get asked for a lot of interviews. I have a ton of interviews set up already. People text me this year because last year they seen that I couldn't do them on certain days. Tons of interviews set up next week. They all want to know one thing. Who you betting on the Super Bowl? What side? I tell them I don't have a side. At this number, I don't have a side minus 1.5. Do I think the Eagles are a better team? I think they're a healthier team. I think right now they are a better team. But anything can happen easily.
Right.
Definitely Casey can win the game. I mean, the Eagles have showed us in this spot. Not even this spot. They have showed us this year. They played Washington in Philadelphia and lost to Washington. Next week came up and put up a clunker again as a double-digit favorite against Indianapolis and just barely hung on to win 17-16.
Yeah.
Anything can happen here. And KC, they're so many one swing games, one possession games. I mean, anything can happen in this game.
And that's where the books get you, right? They know you're going to be romantic about the winner. They know you want the bragging rights, even if they're not either one of those teams are not your teams.
Yeah.
Everyone wants the bragging rights. I picked the winner of the Super Bowl, and that's where they get you.
There's only one thing, and it's the movie Moneyball, what you've seen.
Yeah.
You can only be romantic about baseball. Yeah, that's it.
I love it.
Yeah. So many people teasing the total.
Yeah.
Already, I seen on Twitter. Not that I went after. This guy's actually a sharp guy. He's a bookmaker. He was a bookmaker.
Yeah.
He put a teaser up on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, oh no, you put a teaser up, and I was like, no way, you put a teaser up on, and then sure enough, he put a teaser up, and I said, look at my tweet. You're killing me. No. And then he said, I can't. I said, you can't. He goes, no. He goes, it's just I want to name what he said. He said to me, I never do it ever except this game, and it's for entertainment purposes only. Listen, there's no entertainment purposes if you're putting the money out there. That's the way I feel. And I like that guy. I'm not saying nothing about him. Just don't be teasing the total, please.
When you put that up, that little Jack Nicholson thing, what are you typing in? Were you looking specifically for that? Like
what? No. No, like when I
just
type
love
something there.
I just love that you'll go
I
find
found the
that
GIFs
stuff.
and I seen the word no, and I clicked on no, and that came up when he said no.
I
said,
like that you do that.
Yeah, I was just saying no, so I just that's why I found it.
You like to bring a little color to your
Sometimes.
tweets. I like it, Bill. I like it. Okay, what else you got?
Do your shopping. Yeah, there's always a difference between lines on props. Like I just explained that.
Yeah.
The Kelsey thing.
Yeah.
I went under 78.5. 78 it landed on.
Right.
If I bet it at 5 other shops, I would have lost.
Yeah.
But I bet it at the one shop, William Hill, that did take that, and it was a win. So listen, the sports books can't keep up. It's that simple. There's too many props they have. There's going to be a prop pamphlet, as Jay said yesterday. It'll be out tomorrow night. It'll be a nice thick book of props. So, yeah. All right, number 5.
Yeah.
Think about what the public is betting, and you want to be. Yeah, I'm the one that wrote this. I should know it. Think about what the public's betting. You kind of want to bet on the other side. So everyone likes marquee players to score a touchdown. This is a secret thing no one's going to tell you. I love betting the no when there's a yes-no market on this. So, in other words, you have 15 players, yes-no. How many touchdowns is in a game? Even this game, there's 51 points. I'll say 6 touchdowns, and that's what they're predicting. And there might not even be that. So there's 6 touchdowns. You have all these different guys, yes, no. It's not the hardest thing to go through and say who can't score a touchdown, who can't score a touchdown.
Right.
A lot of the no's are actually really good bets.
Really?
Yes, no's. Yeah, if you can find that. So there's 5 good tips there for the public to know about.
That's
There you
beautiful.
go.
Beautiful.
To,
well done.
UFC? Is that UFC?
Yeah, so there's it's not a big
Feedback.
fight this weekend. It's a kind of a late card, 7 p.m. prelims, 10 p.m. main card starts, 10 p.m. So that means the fights are not going to end until about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the
Our
morning.
time?
Yes, our
3
time.
3 in the morning?
Very rare, yeah, because there's a lot of Korean fighters on the card, and originally Korean Zombie, who's probably the most famous of the Korean fighters, was on the card. He ended up he's not going to be fighting now, but they still have a heavy Korean fighter card, so they wanted it to be fair to the folks in Korea.
To be fair to the folks in Korea, I love those Korean buffets.
There you go.
Those Korean barbecues, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, sign me up.
They're unbelievable. There's a brand new one that opened up on Spring Mountain, by the way. It's sick.
Really?
I just can't think of the name of it right now.
I'll bet you
it just opened.
America's favorite dentist goes there already. I bet Dr. Kim probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Is he Korean?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's Korean. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I'm actually
good.
taking him to the fight because
nice.
of that. Yeah,
Is it
he's
Korean
very
things?
excited. Yes.
Cool.
But there is a big name that a fan favorite, Derek Lewis, is fighting. He's been in the losing column of late. He is plus 195. You know, heavyweights, a puncher's chance always exists, Bill. I kind of like this one.
Okay.
For plus 195. He's the one that in a post-fight interview a few years ago with Joe Rogan, he said, my balls was hot. I don't know if you remember that. That's who Derek Lewis is. My balls was hot. He's kind of a funny guy on Instagram. So I'm riding with Derek Lewis. I hope he gets back in the win column, and that's my UFC pick for the weekend. Let's talk about crack wins.
Okay.
You said before we started, which you rarely say when the cameras were off, you said, we've been on fire. I've been on fire.
Listen, I come on the show and tell you how bad I did a couple weeks back.
You deserve the accolades when you're hot.
Yeah, last week was really good. 6-3-1 in the NFL. NFL props and stuff. And listen, the Super Bowl's not till 12th, I understand, but we'll be firing on props the next 2 weeks. So
yeah,
again, we'll still be doing, of course, the college basketball and NBA and golf and those kind of things. But this next few weeks are real important. The day of the game, I'll have the most stuff though.
The day of the game.
The day of the game.
Really?
I will have the most props because I'll be betting under on a lot of props. So I'll be sending out a lot of unders on crack wins.
And are a lot of those going to be props that you already got down on earlier in the week, or no? You'll wait. You purposely wait.
Listen, not only did I purposely wait, I put them out on crack wins first before I even bet them. Give the public a chance
to give them a chance to get the best line.
$100, $200, $300.
Right.
They're not going to move off them. As soon as I come in and bet $3,000 at one spot, they're going to move. So why not give the public a chance? That doesn't affect me. I've proven it. I actually sat there last week with 2 guys. I said, listen, you guys bet them first. They bet them for $100. They go right through. And then I put my bet in, and it comes in.
That's a point that I think we should talk about because I would imagine most don't think like that. Most of the other sports better, the guys that give out picks, that sell picks.
They don't bet them anyway.
And they don't
even bet them. They're just putting stuff out there. They're like, oh, because this one sounds good.
Right.
Good luck.
Right.
Yeah, I threw the dart there. That's where it hit. You're getting it. My dog peed on that piece of the paper. You're getting that part. They don't even bet.
Right.
Most guys don't even bet. Or if they do
point.
bet, I'm not saying, as long as you have skin in the game, I have no problem when you're giving out picks to people.
Yeah.
But when it comes to people that are selling picks, most of them are just, honestly, they really are snake oil salesmen.
I got to tell you, it's not anyone that I had heard of before, and I doubt you've heard of this guy, and I can't even think of his name, and I won't say his name anyway if I could think of it, but he's been bugging me to come on Action Junkies. He wants to come on Action Junkies.
Of course he does.
And he sells picks and stuff. And I finally emailed him back, and I said, buddy, listen, I hate your marketing strategy because he is one of those. I do see him on Instagram. I looked at his Instagram. I'm like, you're one of these guys that does the whole, I'm 120-4 in baseball picks.
He's not this guy that says he's the chosen one, is he? No, right?
Let me go back and look.
There's a guy on Instagram I really enjoy. It's entertainment purposes.
Okay, let me go back and
look. He goes on the air and he says, yep, I am the chosen one. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. And he puts a record up of literally 124-12. I'm that guy. And then he has all his little minions, which are fake accounts, saying, yeah, you're the greatest. Oh, my God, you saved me. I can have toys for my kids for Christmas. And one of the responses, swear, I can have toys for my kids now for Christmas. Buddy, if that was really the case, you shouldn't even be gambling. You know what I mean? I just, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. A guy lost his job.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I don't want you to have the service no more. I mean, like who does that? But it's just, there's so many of those, like I said,
it's
the snake oil salesman.
You know him? Never heard of him?
No.
Yeah.
But they're just seeing the name, though.
So I told him, though.
He's Fugazi.
I told him, I said, listen, I'll have you on, but I need you to know I'm going to be really hard on you.
Good.
Like, I'm going to be really hard on you, and you're not going to like it. And he was like, no, I got no problem with that.
I'll give you the questions to ask him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I want to know if your method's a back-tested method. How do you come up with your plays? Is there analytics involved? You have a model. Do you have a formula? Do you bet your own games? What's your record? Where is it at? Where can I see it? Where can I see it posted? Who monitors it?
Right.
Are you unveiling, like Bill Krackomberger every week has a write-up on his site, win or loss?
Right.
Where is that stuff at? Show me that stuff. Don't just tell me your record. Show me that stuff.
Right.
Those 8, 9 questions, if you can answer all 9 of them, I want to speak to him.
Okay. I love it. Well, there you've heard the man. Download the CrackWinds app. Go to crackwins.com if you don't have a smartphone where you can get an app or your apps are too much work for you, or just go to Google Play, Apple. It's there. This is the time to do it. If there's a time for a first-timer to come join CrackWinds and you're going to watch the Super Bowl, you're going to go to a Super Bowl party, this is the time to do it.
It is. You'll have all the
props. This is the time to do it. And you'll look like a rock star in front of all your friends. Like, how did you have that prop? How did you have that? Right?
Yeah, definitely. You're going to have some great props. I mean, you're going to have some stuff that, listen, you're getting the sharpest information in the world. Put it that way. You're getting the sharpest proposition information in the world. You're getting some of the sharpest basketball information in the world. You see the stuff. I can't say this out publicly if I was lying.
Yeah.
You guys see the games. They move all in your direction when I give them out. I mean, who does that? People tell me all the time. I've never been part of anything like this. I've had other pick services that I've had in my life. The line doesn't move in 10 minutes later, 30 minutes later. So
Super Bowl is hands down my favorite time to be your friend, because I look like a rock star when I'm at home with our little Super Bowl party that we have.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, I had that guy 4 catches or more. I had that guy, whatever it is, like all this random stuff. No, it's just a random third down in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And I'm like jumping up and down, screaming, that the team just got 8 yards, and everyone's looking at me like, what are you so happy about?
Yeah, they have no idea.
Like, what are you so happy about?
They have no idea. Yeah.
It's amazing.
National anthem, you're screaming right at the beginning. Like, what are you screaming at? The guy just sang the national anthem. Yeah, but he sang it under 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
I'm like, finish it already.
Oh, God.
No breath. Yeah, it's amazing. Guys, listen to me. I don't push it too hard usually, but you got to download CrackWinds and become a member, because Super Bowl is the time to shine.
Yep.
So do it. After you do that, head on over to WSN.com.
Yeah.
And this, again, if there's a time to do, if you're a first-timer.
Look at This is WSN. By the way, I'm on WSN.com just showing John this stuff. And this is New York. You can go to any state, though. But by the way, these places are available in any state. Just that.
Wow, look at that one from BetMGM.
So
look at that.
This. So that's $1,000 first bet offer on BetMGM. This is two bets up to $2,000 a points bet for free. $12.50 free on Caesars. Here's the one that's the brand new one. FanDuel. $3,000. You can bet your first bet for $3,000. If you lose it, you actually will get the bet back. You get to do it again for $3,000.
I mean, that doesn't get any better.
The rest, by the way, the next one's DraftKings, $1,000 deposit bonus, win bet, Bet Rivers. That's New York. But you can click on the legal state there. You can go to your state and your jurisdiction, and you can see that the literally a lot of these bonuses you can't get going to the website themselves.
Yeah.
WSN has negotiated these for you.
And let me say this, by the way, if there's ever a good reason for you to convince yourself that you need to sign up for Crack Wins, it's these bonuses, because look at what they're willing to give away to most degenerates, knowing they get it in the end, they get it all.
Yep.
That's why you need to be with a service like Crack Wins, because you're going to help them manage the bankroll. You're going to help put them in a position to win and be profitable, like we were talking about earlier. You're not trying. It's not about winning 100% of your money.
Let me be blunt. You're signing up for a new account. You're going to get full limits because they don't know who you are right now. So right now is a great time to sign up.
Because they'll let you fire away on stuff.
They'll let you fire away right now on Super Bowl. There's too much people. There's too much clientele.
Right.
How many people do you think they're on a trading desk? How many people do you think they're having risk?
Right.
I mean, it's like going into a casino. People think all different things in casinos. Oh my God, there's so many cameras. You know how many guys are up there?
Right.
3.
Right.
I mean, it's 3. You know how many cameras there are? 6,000.
Right.
So maybe 5 on the weekends or something. I mean, it's not what you think. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying go and cheat in the casino.
No, of course.
I'm just saying
it's hard to catch everything.
It's not what it's not what you think.
Right.
Up
right.
there,
yeah, and it's like, so this is a case when it comes to Super Bowl, the inmates are running the asylum in the beginning, right? It's there's too many people betting, they can't monitor everything.
There's so many things going on. So let's go back to the WSN, talk about them a little bit. Not only that, there's the latest sportsbook promotions and promo codes. There's a whole article about the $3,000 I'm seeing here. I did not see that before. It just came up February 1st. Up to $3,000, no sweat first bet with FanDuel promotion code. Now, also articles on predictions, betting bonuses, expert picks, latest NBA stuff. Now I'm going to the next section, best sportsbook bonus state by state. That's where you find all different states. Click on your jurisdiction. The latest Wise Kracks podcast. You can go find all of our podcasts on there. It's fantastic. All in one place to find our podcast and listen to our podcast. You can watch our podcast. Next thing, different things on the Super Bowl betting, where to bet on the Super Bowl legally, different odds on certain things. But we also go into Massachusetts, which is... normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but it just started yesterday. In UMass yesterday, I got a call already from somebody saying to me, oh, Massachusetts, you can bet in person right at the Encore. So he went into the Encore, and I don't know what happened. I have to do a little investigation. I'll let you read something, John. You'll find it interesting. I got to find out what happened here because this is Encore. I'm not going to mention the guy's name. I'm not going to mention that. I'm in Encore. Place is crazy. Good limits for me. They already arrested a person for kiosk cheating. I don't know what he did.
How's that even?
Yeah, I don't know what's kiosk cheating. I didn't
using someone else's card.
I don't know.
Is that even cheating?
I don't know.
What could be the cheat?
What can you cheat at a kiosk? I don't know. But anyway, kiosk cheat. So anyway, Encore. Encore.
Will you get any sort of follow up?
I will. I'll call him. I'm gonna call him. They just started that, and I'm gonna probably be there. Just to let you know, I'm going there. I'm not going to be here in studio next week.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably going up that way. I'm probably going to do a little.
Oh, this is Encore. Sorry, this is Encore. Oh, okay,
Boston.
right, Boston, right.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go there, go to the East Coast, go around through Connecticut, go to Jersey, check out all the apps and see what's going on there for Super Bowl.
You've never been.
Time. It's a good time for me to sign up for some of the sports books I don't have, where I can go a little more undercover there, under the radar.
And so you'll watch the game there. You'll be there.
In all good chances, I actually may be back here for Super Bowl, but I'm going there for a couple days.
Get some stuff down.
To get some stuff down.
I like
so
it.
Anyway, going back to WSN, that sports betting news, the in-person betting is a whole article about Massachusetts mobile betting. Just came up this morning. I did not read it yet. I will read it. Texas, Nebraska, Arizona, all different places. Articles on so many different states. You get it all here. But don't forget those bonuses that WSN has negotiated for you, WSN.com.
Well said, Bill Krackomberger, and this was a fun show.
Yeah, it was a good
nice little Super
it.
Bowl preview.
Yep.
We'll do it again next week for the final dance before the dance.
Sounds good.
All right.
See you guys.
See you next week.